Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Indicate that Judgment Day has taken notice of Jey Uso's triumph, which is never a positive development in WWE even if it is a personal accomplishment for him. Jey may be the object of suspicion due to his new role as Intercontinental Champion, according to Ripley's enigmatic remark. Taking aim at one of WWE's newest single champions is sure to set Judgment Day ablaze, and the group loves a good ruckus. According to Ripley, Jey Uso's rule could soon encounter a strong opponent, whether it Priest, Balor, or perhaps Dominic. Is the Intercontinental Championship Ripley's biggest secret ever? A popular belief among WWE experts is that Ripley is planning to increase Judgment Day's power by aiming after Jey Uso's Intercontinental Championship. To prove their dominance and influence over the whole roster, certain groups in WWE often want to amass as much gold as possible. Judgment Day has been cautious in its pursuit of championships, despite their dreadful reputation. The addition of the Intercontinental Championship would further establish Priest and Ripley as the most dominant alliance in WWE, since Ripley is already dominating the women's division and Priest is positioned to fight for the World Championship. Judgment Day isn't content with a handful of names, and Ripley's tweet may be seen as a warning sign. A possible next step in their conquest may be Jey Uso's newfound prominence, since they won it all. The group might start setting up a strategic assault on Jey with Ripley at the helm, which could spark a quarrel between the dark, deliberate power of Judgment Day and the high-flying USO. Naturally, not every fan interprets Ripley's behavior as a direct threat. There are those who saw Ripley's tweet as an unusual display of respect on the part of the women's champion. Jey Uso followed a similar trajectory as Ripley on his way to become a lone contender. Wrestlers who have had to work their way up the ranks have shown that it is possible to achieve success even when not part of a traditional team. Since Ripley has been in tag teams and factions before, she may be able to relate to Jey's narrative. Thus, her tweet may be a tribute to his valiant triumph, a handshake from a winner to a follower. Respect, meanwhile, is often conditional when dealing with Rhea Ripley. It would be expected that Ripley would put Jey through his paces in the next weeks to determine whether he is worthy of the gold belt, even if she admires his determination. WWE may be building a much bigger narrative around Ripley's response to Jey Uso's triumph. It is implausible that Ripley, who is always planning forward in her role as eradicator of Judgment Day, would respond to Jey's victory without a bigger scheme. The WWE Universe is in for a wild ride if Judgment Day targets Jey Uso for the Intercontinental Championship. One of the most crafty and influential groups in WWE would be Jey's opponent, despite his recent success. The odds would be stacked against him with Rhea Ripley at the helm. Even though Jey Uso has just won, the world he has entered is considerably more perilous than he had imagined, and Ripley's ominous message may be a portent of things to come. If there's one thing Ripley does well, it's keeping her enemies guessing until the very end. Despite winning the Intercontinental Championship, Jey Uso still has a long road ahead of him in his fight against Rhea Ripley and Judgment Day. After Jey Uso won on Monday Night Raw, Damian Priest showed up. During Jey's victory speech, he made an appearance on television and interrupted the winner with his characteristic icy, menacing aura. With a subtle grin on his face, the priest, clad in his black leather jacket and carrying the sinister briefcase with his money in the bank contract, fixed his gaze squarely on the camera. "Congratulations, Jey," Priest said, his deep voice betraying a blend of sincerity and contempt. "A lot of people didn't think you were capable of what you've accomplished. You emerged from the shade cast by your brother and established your reputation. After all your hard work, you finally get the title you've always desired. But I must warn you, Jay, that title identifies you as a marked man. After a moment of pausing, Priest leaned forward, his grin disappearing into a grave countenance. I don't know whether it has hit you yet, but winning isn't everything. Survival is the key. There have never been so many people watching you as there are right now. But if you're worried about any eyes, it should be mine. Priest let his remarks to soak in, and the crowd became quiet. Although JUSO's triumph was praiseworthy, it had also made him a target, and his composed manner betrayed this. You see, Jay, I've got this, Priest added, gesturing for the camera to show the money in the bank suitcase. This briefcase ensures that I will be able to apply for any job at any time. The problem is, Jay, I can surprise you by showing up when you least anticipate it. I may profit from Roman. I know how to get rid of Seth. However, things have become intriguing because of you. Priest's remarks were direct and to the point, making it very clear that Jay's reign as Intercontinental Champion may be overthrown at any second. The ever-present money in the bank suitcase, a metaphor for uncertainty, now cast a shadow on Jay's joyous celebration of triumph. In addition to a warning, Damian Priest also made a promise to JUSO in his letter. A guarantee that Priest, with his sly intellect and savage physique, was ever present, ready to pounce at any time. More than simply individual bragging rights, the Intercontinental Championship had significant meaning for Jay. It required protecting the crown against an unforgiving group of opponents, including the merciless Damian Priest, who might have withdrawn from the competition at any moment. The serenity with which the priest delivered his sermon was almost unsettling. Priest, in contrast to his rivals, let his thoughts to speak for themselves, rather than prattle or rant. His meticulousness suggested that Jay's rule may come to a close, not with a whimper, but with a calculated action, befitting someone who never makes hasty decisions. As he spoke, Priest closed by saying, I hope you enjoy that title while you have it, Jay, with an icy grin escaping his lips. I will determine when it is time, and no one will be able to rescue you, including no one from your family, not even your brother. Judgment Day is always on the lookout. Plus, by the time I reach you, it will be beyond your prime. JUSO remained unfazed by Priest's foreboding word. That night, during an interview backstage, Jay reacted with the same ferocity and rebellion that had propelled him to this height of his career.